The Golden State Warriors just broke the NBA again. There has been rumor now circling around that the Golden State Warriors have reached out to Kai Soto and his team, and there could be a deal on the way. As good as this seems, the Golden State Warriors could also sign another free agent on top of Kai Soto. So in today's video, we're going to be going through Kai Soto and 4 other free agents that the Golden State Warriors can potentially sign this offseason to help them win another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world if you could subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. So first, we're going to be talking about Kai Soto. So as you all know, there are rumors starting to circle around, especially from NBA media, that the Golden State Warriors have actually reached out to Kai Soto. Now, if they were going to sign a contract, it would probably be on a minimum, which is why Golden State Warriors could get Kai Soto on top of other great free agents as well. Now, there is a lot of benefits to get someone of Kai Soto's caliber. As you all know, he's 7'2", 230 pounds, and he's still only 21 years of age. So he's still a very young player and has a lot of potential to be great as the years go by. He most recently played in Australia, where he was averaging 6.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 0.4 assists, which I think he did a fantastic job at, even though he was only averaging around 12.9 minutes per game. So he did a great job and was very efficient out there when playing in Australia. He most recently played in the Summer League team for Orlando Magic, but it was later known that Orlando did only get him for clout purposes, which was kind of sad to see, but the Golden State Warriors are willing to get him and get him at a good price in order to develop him as a player and hopefully play a lot more minutes for this Golden State Warriors team. Now, it does bring a lot of benefits, like I mentioned, and another great benefit of having someone like Kai Soto is, as you all know, San Francisco has a big Filipino audience, and if they get someone like Kai Soto in the team, there is going to be a whole new heap of Filipino fans going for this Warriors team. And I think on a business side of things, it would honestly be a very smart decision, especially from the higher ups in the office, and I do believe that's one of the reasons they may be making this decision. Now, it may sound like a bit of a business move, but at the end of the day, seeing Kai Soto in a Golden State Warriors uniform, even if he does play 5 to 6 minutes a game, will still honestly be fantastic for what the Warriors are trying to build. Obviously, he will need some time to develop into an NBA standard, but I do believe he has all the right tools, and he definitely did show that in the Summer League, as he was a very efficient shot blocker out there and also did a great job scoring, which is something that the Warriors definitely need. The second free agent the Golden State Warriors can get is none other than Austin Reaves. Now, as you all know, Austin Reaves most recently played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he is now actually an unrestricted free agent, and the Golden State Warriors could also get him for a minimum contract. In his time with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he was averaging 4.9 points, 1.6 rebounds, and 1.4 assists. Now, this may not sound like the greatest amount of stats, but you do got to realize Minnesota only played him around 14 minutes per game, which was honestly sad to see, because Austin Rivers at times has been a fantastic player. He had a great stint with Houston Rockets, also with the LA Clippers, and the list really does go on, and I think Rivers could be a great addition to what the Golden State Warriors are trying to achieve. Now, yes, Austin Rivers is a point guard, but you did notice in his great days in playing in Houston Rockets with James Harden, he was actually running the 2 guard and running that shooting guard position, and he did a fantastic job at being a fantastic scorer, and I think he can also do the same for this Golden State Warriors team. He's a great 3-point shooter, averaging last season actually a great 3-point percentage of 35%, while also shooting an effective field goal percentage of 55%, which is really good for a guard. Now, when it comes to Rivers as well, 6'4", 200 pounds, 30 years of age, so he's definitely in those peak years of having, great youth behind him, but also having a good amount of experience in the league, and I think that's why Rivers could honestly play a huge vital role, especially for the younger guys in that second unit. He's also a great defender, and he does fit that two-way play style that the Golden State Warriors love to get, especially for those role players. And I think Austin Rivers still has a lot to give even at 30 years old. If we look at some of these peak years, even with the LA Clippers, he was averaging 15 points, dishing out 4 assists and 2.4 rebounds. So Rivers, if given the right opportunity, can really provide a lot for a team, and I think the Golden State Warriors is definitely a place that he can definitely do that. The third free agent is none other than Willie Hernand Gomez. Now, as you all know, Willie Hernand Gomez is a great player from Spain and has actually played his most recent season with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, during that season, he averaged 6.9 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 0.9 assists, so he did a fantastic job, even only averaging around 12 minutes of game time. He stands at 6'11", 250 pounds, and is still only 29 years of age, so he's still a very, very young player. On top of this, what I love most about Willie Hernand Gomez is due to the fact that he is more of a scoring big man, which is something that the Golden State Warriors definitely need. If we look at the big men currently for the Warriors, we have actually players such as Draymond Green, who only averaged below 10 points, Kevon Looney, who averages below 10 points, but now Dario Saric is in the team, which I think is going to provide a lot of scoring, but now they have the opportunity to add someone like Willie Hernand Gomez, who can even add more scoring, especially off the bench. As you guys need to remember, we have Chris Paul now, and because of that reason, I definitely do believe Chris Paul needs to be teamed up with a couple of scoring big men, because that's probably where we see Chris Paul actually shine the best. If he's able to have someone who he can run a pick and roll with that can score in all facets, whether it's on the 3-point line, whether it's inside, it doesn't really matter. Chris Paul will be able to make it work, and I think that's why you need more scoring big men around Chris Paul, especially for that second unit. And I think Willie Hernand Gomez can definitely provide that. I think his height would honestly be great as well. 6'11", that would actually make him the tallest player in the Golden State Warriors roster, as before, if we looked at last season, their tallest player was Kevon Looney, and he was only standing at 6'9". Some people also say just about to hit 6'10". So having someone who's nearly 7 foot is going to help out, especially with bigger guys. As you all know, the Warriors did struggle against Anthony Davis in the last series against the Lakers in the playoffs, and because of that reason, adding someone like Hernand Gomez who can provide that height, provide that strength, especially inside the paint, will honestly give a lot more leeway for other players such as Draymond, Steph, Clay, to really not worry about defending that player too much. So because of those reasons, I think Willie Hernand Gomez would be a perfect fit, adding that height and adding that defense that the Golden State Warriors definitely need. The fourth player is none other than Michael Carter-Williams. Now, as you all know, Michael Carter-Williams has gone under the radar as of lately due to the fact that he was injured a majority of last season for the Orlando Magic. Now, during the 4 games that he did play, he averaged 4 points, 1.8 assists, and also 1.3 rebounds, but he was only getting around 11 minutes of game time. Now that he is an unrestricted free agent, now may be a perfect time to get someone like Michael Carter-Williams for very cheap due to the fact that he is coming back from an injury, but I still think has a lot of potential to be a great player. As you all know, Michael Carter-Williams stands at 6'5", 190 pounds, and he's 31 years of age. So he still definitely has a lot of years left in the league, and I think he can definitely provide a lot for the Warriors roster as well. As you all know, Michael Carter-Williams kind of reminds me, and a lot of NBA fans and Warriors fans have also said this, kind of like a Sean Livingston if he does join the Warriors. We all know how great Sean Livingston was for the Warriors team, and he did actually help them win a lot of NBA championships. And because of that reason, getting someone like MCW could honestly be the same gist. He plays at point guard, shooting guard position, very tall at 6'5", and he has a great inside game that can definitely be a problem for other teams if he joins a team like the Warriors. Now, when we look at his most recent seasons of a proper season as of lately, we actually see when he did play for Orlando and was getting a certain great amount of minutes, around 18 to 19 minutes, he was able to average 7.2 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. So he still did a fantastic job if given the right amount of minutes, and I think that's something that the Golden State Warriors can definitely provide. When it comes to that shooting guard position, they definitely are looking to get someone that can play, 5 to 10 minutes here and there, and I think MCW can definitely be that guy. Also, with Chris Paul now in the team, I think he can definitely guide MCW into the right direction and be able to get him back in full shape, especially coming back from an injury. Now, one of the reasons why I do like this as well is due to the fact that it would be a minimum contract, due to the fact that the demand for Michael Carter-Williams has definitely dropped significantly due to the fact that he is coming back from an injury. So now may be a great time to get him for super cheap and be able to get a lot of potential and bang for your buck out of getting someone and signing someone like MCW. The fifth player is none other than Will Barton. Now, as you all know, Will Barton has been a bit of an under radar player as well, due to the fact that he didn't play a lot of significant minutes for the Toronto Raptors. He did have quite a huge role in Denver, but moving over into Toronto, it wasn't panning out the same. In the most recent season for Toronto, he actually averaged 4.5 points, 1.6 rebounds, and also 1.1 assists, but he was only averaging around 12 minutes of game time. So I do believe Martin still has a lot of give to this game due to the fact that he is still 32 years old, 6'6", 181 pounds. I think he can definitely do a great job, especially in a Warriors uniform. If we look at his most peak years, especially playing with Denver, and this was not too long ago in 2020 to 2021, he was averaging 14.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 3.9 assists, while also shooting 37% from the three. So guys, if Will Barton is given the right opportunity, he can definitely give you a bucket or two, and I think Will Barton could honestly fit what the Warriors are trying to build, especially as of recent. I think Barton can fill in that small forward position or even shooting guard if need be, but I do believe he has a lot of capabilities, even though his stats as of recent doesn't really show that. I think when we look at the days in Denver, which aren't too long ago, around 2 years ago, Will Barton can definitely put up those numbers if given the right opportunity, and I think there is enough minutes to go around for him to be given that opportunity in a Warriors stadium. Now, when it comes to Will Barton as well, what I love about his game is usually his athleticism, but also just his inside presence and finishing around the ring. Yes, he can shoot very well, and in the most recent season, he was still averaging 38%. However, when we look at his inside game, it is honestly second to none. His athleticism definitely helps him out, but it also makes him a great defender, and it frees up, his three-point shot quite a lot more. So because of those reasons, I think Will Barton will be perfect for what the Warriors are trying to do, and he could fit the system very nicely.